Hey, what's up, Elevate family? My name is Chris, and today I wanted to share a little something with y'all. Today I had a quiet time that really just inspired me, really made me realize, the importance of fighting in the faith. So if you could join with me, really today's topic is going to be time to fight. When you think of fighting, you should picture, two people just brawling it out, knuckle to knuckle, really just fist to fist, really duking it out, really just trying to, better up somebody, So bear with me, but let's get in the realm of imagination. Let's really, put our thinking caps on, really just get fully immersed in this role. But imagine yourself, as a boxer, being in the ring, really, who's your contender, being on the corner, really just being in a fight in general, boxing is a real sport where it has their little arena is a ring. There's ropes to it, and it's just really two competitors fighting it out to see who's the better fighter in general. So let us just picture ourselves, being this fighter. But think of your situation, as a boxer in the ring, in life, where are you at today? Maybe you're backed up against the ropes and really just taking blows for blows, attempting to escape, really, or maybe you're just dodging and weaving, eventually getting tired. See, or maybe you're standing outside of the ring, just watching, just seeing everything go, step out from afar and really, where are you at today, in the boxing ring of life? Where do you place yourself today? See, today, no matter where you envision yourself in this ring of life, this study is really gonna show you that you're not really alone. You're gonna be out there helping other people, because sometimes we question where we're at. See, God knows exactly where you're at today, in this ring of life. And He got a word He has a word, and stored for you in today's, book that we're gonna read. And it's on the book of Jude. What I've learned today is just that He's calling us out today to be love, to contend. He wants us to fight in the great fight of faith. And so, the book of Jude, it's a really small book. It's just has one chapter. Really, the author is Jude himself. He tells us in the first chapter, verse 1, he says that he's a servant of Jesus and a brother of James, which would make Jesus his half-brother. In Matthew 13:55, it says that James is the brother of Jesus. And so, in the book of Jude, he writes a letter to somebody. Really, it doesn't say specifically. Peter does this too, but he writes a letter to us in general. It doesn't matter what church. Back then, it was just universal, and we could implement this letter today in our lives. So he writes, in this era, John was the only apostle still around. And during this time, Christianity was being attacked, politically by Rome. And really, false teachers were rising up, leading people to the wrong path, really to these traditions that weren't biblically in the Bible, So Jude just is aware of this, and he was eager, to tell the people, from the churches to tell everybody, to fight for their faith. And not only to them, but he's actually talking to us nowadays. And so, furthermore, in Jude 1:3, it says, "Dear friends, although I was very eager to write to you about the situation, to the salvation we share, I felt compelled to write and urge you to contend for the fight that was once for all to entrusted to God and his holy people." You see, right here is just eager, Imagine if somebody was directing a brother at the wrong place, really influencing him to the wrong, decisions or wrong reasons. Somebody in this church would really just go out and just really show him, come back to this, to the truth. And this was Jude, These churches were, being invaded by these false teachers, false prophets. And he was aware of this. And really, it was for him to really push them forward, by writing this letter. And so he said, he was talking about the word contend, which translates to Greek, and it means to fight. Jude, through this letter, tells us, to withstand all false teachings and to stand in our faith, the truth. To fight and be victorious. And so, see, as a fighter, in the ring, we need to know what we're against. Questions that really stood out to me is, what am I fighting for? Who am I fighting against? And also, what is my strategy to win? And lastly, one that really stood out, that really impacted me, is who is in my corner? Let's see. In 1 Timothy 6:12 tells us, fight the good fight of faith. Let's see. Following God's words and proclaiming, his name leads us to victory. If we remain in him, he will remain in us, and he will be in our corner. We have to focus on being victorious, and really hold the title of being called a disciple. Because today, churches nowadays really preach about, the resurrection, Jesus. When we preach, Jesus crucified. And so everybody wants to hear this great message, something they want to hear. But we preach what they need to hear. And we got to stand firm, fight in our faith. Really just stand by the disciple life, living up to what Jesus wants us to live up, because the truth is all in the Bible. And sometimes we're so good at cherry pick, things that just benefit us, when the whole Bible should benefit, our lifestyle. We should be living it out. It's so easy to be called, a Christian nowadays. But are we really living up to a disciple? See, when we stand outside watching, aside the ring, nothing happens. But if we step in and depend on who's in our corner, that's when we'll be victorious. Just like God was with his people, the people of Israel, how much more will he not be with us? Following his words and really being the body of Christ. See, my question for y'all is, will you fight or will you fall? See, the life of a disciple, it shouldn't be easy. If you're in a comfortable position right now, you're doing something wrong. You got to put yourself out there. Even if life beats you, even if the enemy beats you, you got to learn how to stand up after the count. You know, if you get knocked down, you got somebody to depend on in your corner. So my encouragement to y'all is to get up and fight the good fight. So, thank you, and hopefully you enjoy the rest of the day.